In the news this week, plans for relationships education in primary schools move forward, Yvette Cooper's abortion inquiry is described as utterly biased, and MPs speak out for Christ at Christmas. Hello. The government is seeking the views of teachers, parents and young people on its new statutory subject of relationships education for primary school pupils. Under the plans set out by Education Secretary Justine Greening, primary school pupils are set to learn about different types of relationships, while in secondary school, students are likely to be taught about sex, sexual health and sexuality. Colin Hart, the Christian Institute's director, raised concerns about children facing inappropriate sexual content. At a time when there is growing alarm at the sexualisation of children, this change could lead to the sex education industry, which promotes explicit materials having much greater influence. The call for evidence will close on the 12th of February next year and will be followed by a full public consultation. A new commitment by the BBC to promote all religions more in its programming risks watering down Britain's Christian heritage, the Christian Institute has said. The corporation said it intended to broaden its audience by reflecting an increasingly pluralistic society, by giving greater prominence to non-Christian festivals such as Eid, Passover and Diwali. The BBC's head of religious programming, atheist James Purnell, said it was important for British society to understand where it had come from and how religion plays an important part in that. But the Christian Institute's Kieran Kelly said the BBC was merely presenting a multi-faith mishmash which undermines Britain's Christian heritage. In recent years, the BBC has demonstrated its religious illiteracy with its poor portrayal of Christianity, which has also been underrepresented across all platforms. This latest move diminishes the role that Christianity has had in shaping our history and our culture today. The Home Affairs Committee has been criticised for its handling of an evidence session on abortion buffer zones. MPs heard from abortion industry representatives and pro-life groups after the government announced a review of abortion protests. Despite seeing no concrete evidence of harassment outside clinics, Committee Chair Yvette Cooper MP recommended that further measures be taken.
If you're not prepared to accept the impact that people describe, then it makes it rather difficult to see how a resolution can be found without there being any further measures or further legal action taken.
Cooper was also criticised for repeatedly interrupting pro-life representatives. Writing on Twitter after the evidence session, former Labour MP Robert Flello said, "Sadly, this is what I've seen over the years from Yvette and others." The committee's report was effectively written before the inquiry began. Right to Life described Yvette Cooper as utterly biased and accused her of drawing conclusions based on hearsay. And finally, MPs across Westminster's major political parties have urged people to remember to keep Christ in their Christmas. 16 MPs have now given their support to an early day motion entitled "The Real Meaning of Christmas." The Conservatives' Fiona Bruce, Labour's Mary Glindon, David Linden of the SNP and the Liberal Democrats' Ed Davey are among the supporters of the motion, initiated by DUP MP Jim Shannon. It states that the MPs believe the real meaning of Christmas is a celebration of the birth of Christ, and it urges people to remember to keep Christ in their Christmas and to use the time to show love to family, friends, neighbours and community alike. Well, that's all for this week. On behalf of the Christian Institute, I'd like to wish you a happy Christmas and a peaceful New Year. Join us next week as we look back on 2017. Until then, goodbye.